like if you're coming out of Cannonsburg and you take a right on Burnside Road, there's a sign about Cecil Township, 8th best township in the country. Been out there about 10 years, and it's listed. It's starting to fade a little bit. And it's an obstruction for, if you're at the stop sign coming out of Burnside Road and you want to turn left or right onto 980, it is an obstruction of the southbound traffic on 980. So it might be due take that sign down. It's no longer, while that's an admirable, achievement. That was about 14 years ago now. And let's work on the next one. So if you consider that. Another thing when you talk about roads, I do agree with you. You guys did a nice job on the roads in the township. I used to bicycle years ago along all the roads in Mount Pleasant and Foster Bay, Oyster Bay, all around. Ours were the worst. And now there's some advance. So we've made good accomplishments on that. But now on the cake, here we are in cake again. And where do we stand on the possibility of closing that road?
So we being Dan, has been negotiating with the property owner for a couple months now. As you can imagine, he's looking to sell his house, so his position is he wants the gate removed. He's provided our board with a couple of solutions that, quite honestly, aren't, a majority of the board is not really interested in. So we want Dan to go back on our behalf and kind of have a discussion with him about what some other options will be. Supervisor Gizio suggested some things that we could definitely consider. Supervisor Spavak did as well, to try to. I know it's not fast. I know that this is frustrating for you, and I know for a period of time he cooperated. He had a key, and he cooperated.
I have much sympathy for his predicament.
So do we.
Yeah.
So we're trying to balance your desire to keep that road closed, his desire to get access to his own house.
Rosewood Park's desire.
Right. I don't mean you personally. I mean the petitioners, the people who want the road closed. His desire to have the gate open so that he can sell his home, and the board's desire to balance and figure out how to make it all happen. We understand that you proposed various gate options. I know it's not ideal, but I'm just asking if you could give us one more month to have Dan go back to him with some of these other suggestions we've come up with and see if we can come up with something that satisfies.
Chairman, I am ready to make a motion. I told you that at the executive session.
You can make a motion, but Tom's ready to make a motion. I don't know if it'll pass or not, but I'm asking you, before Tom makes a drastic motion, I'm asking you, are you willing to give us one more month to try to come
Oh,
up?
certainly, because nothing can happen.
Right.
I recognize that the earliest closure possible is probably July.
So Tom, I would ask you to hold off on that one motion one more month and see if Dan can kind of lean on this property owner to come up with an agreement.
Now,
Well, that would have been part of my motion. The motion would be to close the road, and then let the property owner access his driveway however he wishes. He owns the driveway, his driveway accesses into Cannonsburg. If he wants to use that, let him. If he wants to put a new driveway to the Cecil portion, let him. That would be my motion, but if
I agree.
but the point is, if Dan, you can talk to him, my motion would also include that you give him one more chance to say, look, if you agree to keep the gate closed, every time you go through, if not, then we can close it.
Hang on.
I'll wait till next month.
okay. It is, in lieu of that ultimate closure, which I wouldn't be in favor of, just closing it and blocking him off. I got issues with that too.
Okay, so then we're not going to. So
But
So
but
just-
is there a budget? Do you have a budget?
No, because we don't, because we're just trying to come
I
up.
mean, do you have a level where you don't want to exceed?
No, I don't think anybody, we want to come up with the best solution for everyone. The best solution for you, the best solution for the property owners, and the best solution for that. Please understand that even though he cooperated with us, there is a concern that if we change the circumstances, so if we permanently block that road, or we lock the gate with a lock that he doesn't have access to, that he constitutes a taking. It's a change in circumstances and
He's the one to change the circumstances. That's
No,
the
we
one.
would be.
No, he's the one to change the circumstances by leaving the gate open that he agreed to close.
Well, in any case,
Yeah.
we would end up in court, which honestly would just drag this process out even longer. So that's what I'm saying, like, give us one more month to try to let Dan lean on him and come up with a solution that would honestly get it done faster than if we end up back in court and have to argue in front of like a board of viewers or common pleas court or something, or common
Do you
court.
think you or the resident would be acceptable to that situation with a parking lot type of gate?
I honestly, I can't answer that because I don't,
Would you be,
I can't.
or him? You
I
can
can't answer because I don't, like, that is a conversation we need to have our township engineer look into, and that's
What
one
do
of
you
the
think,
things he's
Dan?
gonna do.
Are you?
I don't
Yeah,
want
I
him to be put on the spot, sorry
No,
to
I
jump
mean,
in.
we're
Give
not-
us some
I'm not here
time.
for comments and questions, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it should cost us anything. If the owner wants to configure a new driveway, he has.
Can you talk in your microphone, because I can't hear you at all?
I said, I don't think we have any obligation to that. I think if he wants to configure a new driveway or gate, he can do that. It should be on him.
You see, the thing is that he didn't break the situation. He was on a dead-end street when they opened up that Apple Hill.
I know.
And then this body voted to allow them to connect.
For clarification, it wasn't us, it wasn't any of us, except
Correct.
Tom.
It absolutely was not any of you.
Right.
But since this board broke it, you have to fix it. And blocking him off,
Wait, how we break it?
you allowed Apple Hill to plan.
We didn't,
He changed what he agreed to.
Ron, we didn't, that was a board in '05.
The board in '05 voted to connect Cecil Township with Cannonsburg without any plans or anything.
No, true. I told you that last meeting.
No,
He did provide,
I provided you.
and I'll pass
I
that.
need that, and
Yeah.
I'll make copies and
Wait,
get
hold
them.
on. It's-
I need those in my copies.
I will, I'm giving you that and then this.
So, this is '05, and this is in '13, this is the letter. So there's a good bit there, and unfortunately, I didn't copy all of it.
No.
And I'll make copies of it if you wish.
Right.
But you have access to both of these. Because I got them from Dawn, right, Dawn? Probably. We got them from you.
So to be clear, Mr. Cronin, you are not in favor of blocking his access to his driveway, correct?
No, I think that's because he didn't create this situation.
Right,
He was living on the end of a dead-end street
right.
when all of a sudden there was 400 houses built on the end of the dead-end street. And this board in '05, which none of you were a part of,
Well,
voted to connect it.
right,
No,
he wasn't.
no, Tom was not there. There was three, it lists two, and I forget who the other one was.
Any Coleman.
Pardon me?
Any Coleman.
So we are working on it. We will keep you in the loop and we will address it once and for all hopefully at our June meeting. So no pressure, Dan, but just give us time. We're gonna try to go back to him with some other solutions and some other considerations.
Yeah, I hope you consider that. I hope you can budget like $5,000 to put a gate like that. Maybe $2,000 for the gate, and, then we gotta hook up electricity to somewhere.
But I don't see why we should bear the cost.
The board broke it. They allowed the through road. And then you disallowed it in '13.
At the property owner's expense though, or his agreement though, to be fair. We didn't just arbitrarily put a gate up
Oh,
He
yeah,
was somebody,
yeah.
he wanted that
You know,
there.
at that time, he had children that played hockey in the street all the time.
Correct,
He does not anymore, they're drivers.
right.
So he has people that opening the gate, closing the gate, need a place to park. I understand that completely. That situation, you know, Cindy, would you want to have a gate in front of your property every time it's snowing, open the gate, close the gate? You know,
Yeah, I hear you.
when he had none of that before.
Right.
He had a perfect, he was the last house, and no one ever drove by him. No one. And now I
He
should
bought a
have.
property with his access in Canonsburg, borough.
No, Ann Surridge bought that property.
Well, he didn't do that.
In the 50s.
He bought it that way.
He bought the house.
He bought it that way, but.
And it was set up already.
I know, but he bought a property that driveway was in the borough of Canonsburg, period.
It was in the borough of Kinsman, but there was no road there. Ann bought that off of Falcone, and she just sold him a lot, just a lot. And there was no other road there. In fact, we paved into Canonsburg in the 90s or the 80s. I forget when our road was paved. But we paved all the way into Canonsburg to give him access. And now you're going to block him out? No, that's not fair. That's not fair. Yeah, the fair thing is to fix it another way. You know, I propose that gate because that gate only has to walk one way. And he pushes the button and it opens, he goes through. Any other lane, there is that knockdown post that a fire truck can go through, a police car can go through. But that soccer mom and that guy going to work, he ain't going to go through that because he knows he's breaking the law if he goes through that. So that's all it is. And it's not ugly anymore. What we have up there is those two great big barriers that you have in front of the walkways in front of the bridges to disallow traffic from going over those nice new bridges. You can remove those, and that single post will stop the traffic. And you'll have access,
Agree with that.
and it'll look good. It won't look bad.
Dan's gonna work with him, give him one last chance.
Yep.
To work something out.
But I think the threat of that is valid. Yeah, like, you know. So, just one last thing. I think we have an accomplished sophomore in high school in our township. And that happens to be the chief's son, Ethan, was just got an honor. What was it, Chief? It was
Youth Leadership Program for the FBI National Academy. So he's representing, well, he's with 60 students across the nation.
Would he be willing to come to our June meeting so that we could recognize him?
Probably not.
Could his dad lean on him a little bit to come?
I can ask him.
All right. We would love to recognize him. It's a huge accomplishment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.